What's good, peeps? Speechy here, and welcome to Mindful Music Listening Session. Today, I'm taking you on a journey back to 2016, the beginning of Speechless and the sound of electronic music. So, wow, that was exciting. Welcome, people. And here we are. Ever since I released the Discord server, I just wanted to make more of YouTube videos, and I was scared to do that for a long time now, but making a YouTube video is such a creative process, and it's so, like, the creative juices is just so intense, and I've been just having this urge to make more, and here we are. Mindful music listening sessions. This is series that I want to make to begin with. And how is it going to be working? Okay, so, well, we're going to be listening to some music, obviously. I'll be picking songs that I want to show to you, and hopefully we can have an experience, by mindfully listening to them. I'll just do my best to create an experience for all of us. So, today, I'm taking us back to the beginning of Speechless. Speechless is being made out of, well, it's been alive for 6 years, for 6 years now, and it's made out of 4 genres of music, which is electronic music, hip-hop, rap, R&B/alternative, and lo-fi. And the beginning of Speechless is just electronic music. It's like a whole year, the whole 2016 was pure electronic music, like future bass, heavy, and it has to do a lot about who I was, who Speechy was at the beginning of Speechless, Because Speechless and Speechy it's just like a huge synergy between these two guys. Speechless Music Channel has always been a very personal space for me to, I don't know, just live life. In 2016, I was, I think, 17, 16. So, it makes sense to view this experience through the lens of a teenager, which Speechy was back in the day. And this specific teenager, was a misfit to the world, or at least he was really feeling this way. I mean, you remember your teenage years. We all been something. we all been really something, and we all been going through a lot, a lot. So hey, the world is hard as you when you're a teenager, and I feel like Speechless to me was a place where I could have just be free and myself. Because when you're like an imposter, you go well with everyone, but you don't have friends, or at least you don't feel like you have friends. You feel like you're being a people pleaser. You're being like you're fake, and well, maybe it's not fake. What's the word? I would say the word of a misfit. You don't have a place. You're there, but do you have a place? Do you feel like you belong? That's how I was feeling in my teenage years, and I needed to have a place to be. Speechless was that place. This misfit created the world for electronic music, because that was what I was listening at the time. And the song Fam X Philip Squad is the first upload of Speechless. It's this heavy electronic sound, kind of like annoying even when you think about it, but it opens up the world of a teenager that feels like a misfit and is really emotional. We just have to listen it. We just have to listen to what the song has to say. So let's get it. Okay, well, I'm not gonna be playing the whole song. I'll do that for some songs, but some are just too long, like this one, and we'll cut it short. But wow, this brings back a lot of emotions and memories, I'll tell you what. So, electronic music, Fan Mix Philip, the opening gate to Speechless, the whole electronic era, and you know, there's something about electronic music. There's something about electronic sound that just it grips you. It's abstract enough to for you to put any meaning you want there and for it to talk back to you, and it's so easy to find so much meaning in that power. Once it grips you, you know, you have only two choices. Either, you know, it's too much and you want to let go and just, goddamn, this music sucks. Or the second choice is you just submit yourself to it. And once you submit, it's a lot. It's a lot. I was a lot about this kind of songs, this kind of music. And you know, back in the days, back to the teenage perspective, you know, there's a lot of easily attainable nihilism out there. I don't know, there's sometimes you have just like bad days, sometimes you have a bad period, and once you're going through life and you're figuring stuff out and nothing makes sense, it's so easy to go down that nihilistic route and where nothing matters. And you know, it might be a bad day, it might be a bad moment or whatever, and the next thing you find yourself doing is like, you know, harming yourself. And you know, the electronic music always had a special place for me, because no matter how much nihilistic I would go, I would never do anything to myself or cross the line, because I felt like there was no need, you know, in the sound like this, the future bass heavy, especially the next example that I'm going to play. In this sound, you can create a different avatar of yourself, a different self is being born, and you can live out the experiences, live out the emotions inside the song, and it feels like you learned it. It feels like you've been there. It feels like you've done that. And you know, so you're living out the worst scenarios and the best scenarios through the sound of electronic music, and it's you feel better, just feel better. And you know, I'm gonna play an example of the song that really resonates with the anger and the overwhelming and the nihilistic side of the youth. And you know, pay attention to the sound and how it grips you.
Some might say we're armed and dangerous. Pay the price of the life every night, but it ain't enough. Pain is the name of the game when they play with us. Say what you say with the lane ain't the same for us. Unforgiven. Right now, Sunset Boulevard with the niggas screaming, oh my Lord. Unforgiven. Right now, Sunset Boulevard with my niggas screaming, oh my Lord. Unforgiven.
intense. Truly intense. I still get shivers listening to this song, and I guess 5 years from now, 6 years from now, I would be listening to it. I would be having the same reaction because it just bears so much nostalgia, but this kind of nostalgia, it's crazy. And the sound in here, it's just pumping through your whole body. I have a last example of electronic that is a bit too much on its own, but during the hard times, during the hard times in general, it just really gets you through it. It gets the job done. To all of you who are still watching and haven't clicked away, you guys are the shit. Congratulations. We've made it through the worst part. I mean, I understand this could be too much for some people, and no offense to everyone who's listening to this kind of music even today, but it's just a bit too much it's a bit too much to me right now. And it really makes me think about that the past Speechy, which was listening to this, and this young guy just casually walking through the street, just blasting future bass sound in his ears. It's a bit much, but I understand him. There's a lot of emotions to be experienced when you're young, when you're that young, and that's when the world doesn't make sense the most. At least to me it was. So, this kind of music, it shelters you badly. It resonates with the worst emotions. These specific two songs, they resonate with the worst emotions, and they're there to catch you, and it's like a cleansing. You listen through it, you experience this whole roller coaster, and you're back to the ground. So ready to be human again. So, not all songs from 2016 Speechless are like that. It gets better. It gets better. Because with time, Speechy grows and the personality progresses, so the music follows. And we're still in electronic, but there's more humanity being introduced. Not only the future bass, this white noisy sound that you just heard. So I think it's a good transition to switch it up. And this song that I'm going to play right now is about love. And it's not that I have anything in particular associated with this song, and I don't think in the past Speechy had anyone at the time, and wasn't there was no one that he was in love or whatever. Very much single, but I remember when I listened and when I heard the first time the song, I told myself that if falling in love had a sound, this probably would be it. This probably would be how it sounds like. So let's just I love how the song has a sense of falling, you know? The electronic sound builds up, creates a tension, and then just as it's in its present moment, the most present moment, it just releases. And henceforth, the sense of falling is beautiful. The next song is also about love, but more so about falling out of love. And once again, 2016, this teenager had no idea what it means to be falling out of love. Is still very much single. But once again, I when I heard about it, when I heard it, the song, I thought this is it. And you know, this song never left. With years, I still listen to it today. And but its meaning is different right now. It's not falling out of love as past Speechy thought it would be, but it's like canceling out or letting go. You know, sometimes people, yes, but more often just emotions, unwanted thoughts and feelings. You know, you dive into this dance coma, you you reach this weird trance, and with the dance and with the sound, the electronic sound of this housey rhythm, you let go. And the song was really helpful throughout the years and still is. You know, it has very much imperfections, a lot of imperfections indeed. But in the chorus, there's this distinct electronic sound that just takes you, and everything is suddenly worth it. You just forgive all those imperfections. So it's one of those songs, and you know, let's just let the music do the talking.
Everything you say is never what you think. Every time I see you, you're never the same. You change your face, you change your mind, you change You change your mind, you change your life. A little words all for my way. Don't wanna see you anyway. Don't wanna see you anyway.
I don't think this needs any more comments than the song itself already told us. And I have a last song to play for us, guys. I think it's time we can summarize this whole journey as well. I'm sure you noticed that with every song played here today, there was a cover for it. And remember when I said that Speechless and doing Speechless was that place for me to just be free and myself? Well, making these uploads is what I meant by it. All these songs, they themselves already have an emotion in it, and you can feel it just by listening to it. But this misfit's job was to really understand it, have these mindful music listening sessions by himself to understand the emotion and pick the right cover so that it amplifies the emotion, and maybe even pick the right text or quote or write a text of his own in the description of the upload so that it adds more value, and by doing so create some sort of an experience, kind of like what we're having here today, just speechlessly without comments like this. And you know, back then life could get as shitty as it could. Everything could be just the worst or go to complete hell, but he would be alright. He would be okay because he had these songs, these uploads, this channel to fall back to. The last song I picked to play for us here today as a closing song is Saye, Who Am I? And I picked it as a closing song because I think it summarizes best this whole 2016 journey, electronic music, this teenager's state of mind that was at the time, which is lost, not knowing what he's feeling and who he is, but relaxed into electronic sound and knowing that as long as he has it, everything's going to be alright. Thank you guys, and when the words leave off, let's just let the music do the talking.
Who can tell me who I am? Take the cold and break your spell. I'll find the strength in my heart. Finally reach the starlight. Ooh, show me what happened to me. But then you took the dream from me. I'll find the strength in my heart. Finally reach the starlight. Show me what heaven could be. Show me what heaven could be. emptiness. Set up, I can see the